Okay, phase. Are you there? Phase 1 of this cunning plan to try and not mass produce but make some gems quicker. We'll go into some settings. So what I've done is I have got a brass rod, 6mm, whatever the millimeters is here, and I'm now going to make a former. I have melted some, I don't know what it's called now, sort of a tin compound, melts very easily, 300 degrees centigrade, and I've melted it with the rod in the middle. So I'm going to make a perfect round to have our first shape. I don't know if this is going to work, but we'll soon find out. Sorry about the shaky camera, but that turned out okay. Let's see how true it is now. Basically I did it on the bench drill, so it's just easier. And now we'll just make sure it's true. I'll do the square, and then we'll do the very difficult one, which is the pear, and then we'll set up the guide over here. I said it might not work, but it gives me something to do on a Sunday afternoon that's interesting. Clay to melt waxed into with the male part of the shape in there, and that gives me the shape I need. This is also how I shaped up the pewter. We'll let that dry and we've got a mould, or a negative to create a positive from, out of pewter, very soft metal, but it then makes a former. So I'm cleaning it off, removing the wax, removing the little brass rod, and I'm left with a shape, which I'll then add a little tail to and put it in a sand moulding former, which you'll be able to see now. Now bake in the oven for about 15-20 minutes at 180 degrees. Let all the wax melt out, and you now have a negative mould in which to pour pewter, which will form then a permanent positive mould. Just don't tell the wife. She's asleep. Looks good. And this is what we end up with. Doing this one-handed, but you get the idea. You facet the gem using this blank, so you get exactly the right size and shape. And then you cast the silver using this in a sand casting block, what I will show you. And then in theory, everything fits. As I said, ever so sorry trying to do this one-handed. But my trusty camera person is not here. There you go. So we've got the two popular shapes. We've got the round, and there's the facet rod, square, and a big oval, a big pear and a little pear. You'll see why we use powder in a minute. It helps to separate the mould. The concave part that shapes the gem insert came away, so I'm just using a bit of super glue to firmly put it back in place. By George, it seems to have worked. English expression. So I'll clean that off and we'll go to part 2, which is faceting a gem using the inner mould, and I'll show you how that works shortly. When preforming the stone, rest the pewter bit on the block and you end up with exactly the right size and shape that you're trying to accomplish to fit the fitting that you've moulded in silver. Beautiful. Once the preforming's done, remove the block because it's the right shape and size. Beautiful. And facet the stone as you normally would. Obviously leaving the girdle alone because that is precisely the shape it needs to be to fit in your setting. I do polish the girdle at the end, but of course that really doesn't move. Well, it removes very little material. Before. Just putting in the final polish now, starting with the table. So I think we have a success here. This enables me to facet gems to a particular size with a preformed setting which I've already made in various shapes. This should speed things up. The reason I'm doing this is to be able to facet a lot more gems and settings, make settings, than I used to. This is not a case of making money, this is just a case of trying to fund the hobby. Let's see if this works. I'll carry on doing this for a few stones. I've already sold a couple on eBay and quite pleased with the way it's gone. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this. Please like, please subscribe, almost at 1,000, come on, just a few more to go, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye for now. Oh, great respect for all the silversmiths out there. I find it far more difficult than actually faceting stones. The damn stuff seems to melt ever so easily.